Hi friends, we just enjoyed a really neat story in a nutshell, about the life of a tree. And now we're going to share a story called A Log's Life by Wendy Pfeffer that looks at that whole process that happens on the forest floor. The forest floor is fascinating, looking at all the interesting fungi, the kingdom of fungi that help in that process, lichens and mosses. Mosses are called bryophytes. And then you have all these decomposer animals who work tirelessly to create new rich soil on Mother Earth. Look at our little chippy, what we call a ground squirrel. Let's find out about a log's life. Deep in a forest, a great oak tree stands. Oh, it is tall. You can see it from miles away. A family of squirrels lives in a hole in its trunk. A porcupine chews on its branches. A colony of carpenter ants nest under the outer bark. See all the ants? A woodpecker pecks at the rough bark, searching for insects. He spears one, devours it, and hunts for more. So the woodpecker helps to keep the tree healthy by eating any pests that cause harm to the tree. Wood-boring beetles burrow under the bark, chewing wood and leaving tunnels. Water and air seep into the tunnels. Toadstools and other fungi such as mildew, molds, and mushrooms sprout in the damp places. Slugs and snails crawl up the tree trunk into the tunnels and eat the fungi. So they have a food web here in the forest floor, and there's a food chain of different things different animals eat in that forest floor. So we see that those slugs and snails eat that fungi. So do turtles and other animals. Sometimes people do too, depending. We always have to be careful with fungi. Some are poisonous. Never eat fungus unless you ask mom or dad. One stormy day, a strong wind whips through the forest. The old oak bends with every gust. Rain pelts its branches. Wind tosses its leaves through the air. Lightning flashes and sizzles down its trunk. A thunderous crack startles the porcupine sleeping nearby. The tall oak begins to topple. Squirrels feel the trembling and scramble out of their hole. One strong gust of blustery wind tears the great oak's roots from the ground. The tree crashes down, shaking the forest floor. Branches break, limbs splinter, leaves scatter. Imagine how scary it is for the animals in the tree. Now it is a giant log. See, it's completely uprooted. It can no longer conduct photosynthesis, so it will gradually die off. Soon the storm stops and the sun comes out. An umbrella of leaves and tangled branches block the sunshine from the forest floor. The porcupine comes out of its den. Squirrels scamper to see where the old hole that was once their home. They're all looking and searching, looking for their family, making sure everybody's okay. And now they have to find a new home. Under the log, ants rush about carrying white bundles of babies. See? They're carrying their precious babies to a new ant's nest. A spider crawls through cracks and crevices, searching for a dry spot to place her egg sac. See how she carries it? Millipedes settle between the log and the wet ground, for now they are safe from the spider. Termites soon discover the fallen log and move in. They not only eat the rotting wood, they lay their eggs there too. So everything is connected in this forest floor ecosystem. This log is habitat now, food and shelter for all these animals. For 3 or 4 years, through hot, cold, wet, and dry seasons, ants, beetles, fungi, slugs, snails, spiders, millipedes, and termites live in the log. Here we see an ant's nest right in there. We see different types of fungi. We see a colony of lady beetles. Here's the porcupine taking shelter in the hollowed out log. Many, many animals take shelter in hollowed logs. In the spring, click beetles snap and click their bodies and flip high in the air before settling in the log. Salamanders, frightened by the noise and sudden movements, dart under the log for safety and stay. So here we see this salamander. It's a kind of amphibian like toads and frogs, and it likes the cool moistness of the leaf litter layer. They have to keep their skin moist, so this is a perfect habitat for them. The leaves are always damp, and it's a nice cool place for them to live and find food. Here we see some impressive fungi growing in that leaf litter layer. We see different types of wildflowers. In the summer, pill bugs, what we call roly-polies, and slugs crawl inside the cool, moist log to keep from drying out. Pill bugs eat dead leaves. Salamanders eat pill bugs. Slugs slip out at night and eat almost anything. The old log provides both food and shelter for the millipedes. They eat decaying plants and trees, but spiders eat the millipedes. Watch out! See that spider hiding in there? Lots of different animals have taken shelter in this log. Several more years of hot and cold, wet and dry seasons pass. Time, weather, and the chewing, pecking, boring, and tunneling of many animals and insects make the inside of the log spongy. The outer bark becomes soft and damp, and gradually it falls to the ground. Wood-boring insects have no wood to bore, so they go and find another log. The woodpecker hunts for other trees to peck. Spiders spin their webs in drier spots, and the porcupine moves to a more solid log. So over time, different animals move in and out in the forest community. Slowly, a lush green blanket of moss carpets the rotting log. Its thick roots break down the wood. Over the next few years, the log crumbles. What is left looks like dirt. It feels like dirt. It smells like dirt. Hey, it is dirt. Thanks to the good work of all those decomposer plants and animals working tirelessly. Earthworms move in. They turn the soil over just as a shovel does. They burrow down and break up the soil just as a rake does. In about 10 years, the rotting log has become a mound of rich black dirt or earth. One autumn day, an acorn falls from a nearby oak tree. A squirrel buries it in the rich soil, and a seedling sprouts. See, it's cracking open. There's the little stem and leaves and the roots growing down, down, down in the soil. It sprouts and grows until one day, deep in the forest, another great oak tree stands. Squirrels move in, so do carpenter ants, beetles, and woodpeckers. The ants build nests, the beetles burrow, the woodpeckers peck. For years, life goes on in the oak tree. Until one night, the wind whistles through the trees and the old oak bends and shakes. It crashes to the forest floor and becomes another giant log. And the story begins all over again. The log lays on the ground and goes through all those decomposing processes to become new rich soil for seeds to get planted in. It becomes a home and a food source for all these different animals. And it's one of the most important jobs on Mother Earth.